Hi there. Welcome to the first of many videos that you'll see me on as part of your mentorship for serviced accommodation. Thanks for choosing me. We've got a long journey ahead. Some of it's going to be tough. Some of it's going to be quite simple. It's going to get much easier. But I can tell you this, it's going to be truly worth it as we go through. First things first, we need to start setting our foundations. And to do that, like any business, we need to do a business plan and have a plan in place and put goals in place. Now, you would have received an email already with the business plan on. And yes, I'd say that you've panicked a bit and thought, I've never filled out one of these. That's great. Don't take it too serious. Not yet anyway. It's a dynamic plan and it will change continuously over the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, however long you want to be in this business. We will upgrade it and evolve it, if you like. So it's a moving document. It's not fixed in place, which means that not everything has to be done now. Now, I'll just share my screen and run through, excuse me, the actual business plan itself and give you some idea on what you should be doing as an outline. So here it is. You've got your welcome, the business plan, Ashley Banfield mentoring program. Great. You can call it the business plan for, you know, John Smith, Jackie Smith, Jane Doe, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever your name is, put your name on there so that you own it. It's got an introduction here and simply outlining that it helps you turn your idea or your passions into a business. Now, we've already given you the strategy. You've been on the course, you've done the strategy. You've decided that, yes, this is something that you want to move forward. So now we have to put a plan in place for you, because we cannot do a business plan one sticks all. It can't be cookie cut for everyone. So it needs to be specific to you, your area, your plan, your goals, your needs, your financial freedom number, and however much time it is that you want to create wealth from property. So, and like it says there, stick at it, because it's not the final document that's important. It's the process that we go through to get there. You want to have a good plan, and when you're done, an okay plan is better than no plan at all. So don't be too hard on yourself and think, shit, you know, is this all wrong from the start? What am I doing? I've never filled out one of these. Like I said, it will gain substance as we go along. What I need you to do is get into the process of thinking that this is your business. Whatever you put in, you're going to get out. This is completely alien to what you know now within the JOB, just over broke world of a job, the corporate world, working in retail, whatever it is you're doing, whether you're a nurse, a doctor, and we've got all of those. Pilots, a pilot, obviously you'll understand process because you have to follow that entire process before you take off, hopefully. But for you, this is about getting you thinking like a business owner, because this truly is a business. It's a business that I don't know that I can do anywhere else with such passive income once you've got it all built up. Yes, there's a mountain to climb at the start, but with what we're providing you, you've got all your shirkers helping you get up there. Once you get up there, it's like, yes. When you got to that mountain, then you can start to ease off a bit. And then, you know, the systems that we help you put in place will get there. So business plan, right. Let's get stuck in. So getting started, obviously your name, put your details in there. Why do you have to put your details in there? Because I already know them. This is a business plan that you may share with investors out there. You may email to them so that they can see this and read this if you want them to invest in your deals. It may mean that it may be that you need investment for the outset. You don't have your own money. So part of this is about finding the capital out there to loan to you. And if you go out there with a good, strong outline of your business, chances are you're going to get some good, strong investors. So I've got students who have been doing this for a year and a half, and they're buying up now. large apartment blocks. When I say large, we target between 8 and 12 apartments in a block, and they're actually building or creating their own apart hotels. And obviously part of this, and that's why it's dynamic, because it grows, and your goals now are getting 1 or 2, your goals may change for getting 1 or 2 blocks of apartments in the next 2 to 3 years. It really is and really can help you move forward super quick, no matter what area you're in. The area only dictates what type of property that we look for and the type of guest. Good. So here it's pretty simple. The business address. If you don't want to share that with me, you just hide it on there, but it doesn't faze me anyway. And then we go to section 1. So we've given you an outline, an example, but you must put in your own information. So read it and then delete it and put your stuff in if you like. So it's got a summary of what you want to do. The summary should be bigger than that, really. It's probably 2 or 3 paragraphs, but it's up to you. If you want to do a one-liner, that's fine. But remember, this is your businesses that you're creating, not mine. I'm here to help you do that. And then you can see the business aims to procure professional standards self-contained property. If it's a different area, it may be, contractor-led, or it may be tourist-led, or maybe holiday lets for weekly down south, etc., whatever it may be. So whatever it is, we must build it around, around your business plan. So you've got this person's chosen London, then they've gone town A, town B, because they're not sure which towns, town C. So you need to probably have 3 or 4 options that you look at. And then as we go through, you'll see how we start to tweak the actual the numbers so that you can choose which one is best for you income wise for the same amount of effort. So financial summary, here it's sort of each property will comfortably turn a profit of 1,000 per month as a minimum. This is what we need to look for. And then there'll be, your running costs, that type of thing. That financial summary probably needs to be a fair bit more thought of there. But think about that, because your financial summary will also include stuff of where you're going to find your money and that type of thing. But it's only very much a summary. Just touch on it, because the detail will come. If you don't know the summary and you go through, some people go back to the summary after they've done it. So your elevator pitch, like, your business name and the strap line, sell me. What do you do? Hey, I produce properties that are a product for, high-end users from the Middle East or Far East, and I focus on China, or it could be, I focus on business people, I focus on tourists because there's an area there, and, we aim to strive to be the best of what we do in this area by doing such, and that's part of your elevator pitch there. Good. Elevator pitch, think Dragon's Den, get it right. Because when you're in front of an investor, that's what you're going to have to do. Think Dragon's Den when you do that. If you need to go and watch a few Dragon's Den on good ones on YouTube, go and do that, because this is what you're doing. You're on the other side. You're not the dragon. One day you will be. Why do you want to run your own property business? Service accommodation business, that type of thing. Put it in there and be honest, Think about it. It was part of this will be the why of what you sent me as well, because I tell you what, it will resonate with people if you do it like that, and you put your heart into it, not just your mind. Previous work experience. So I'm not saying put your CV in there, around property, that type of thing. If your work has been business or it's been related to property, put that in there. If it's nothing, and however, what I have learned from being a scuba diver, the process or being a part of the process allows me to do this and run a property in a strict professional manner, following processes and systems like that, if you like. Qualifications and education. I don't need to know, what you've done at university or anything like that, unless obviously it's related to this. If you've been a solicitor or something like that, obviously that's going to help as well. And what training have you done? Well, hey, you've done some training with us. I'm sure you've done other training as well. Details of any further training courses that you think that you should complete, and it doesn't have to be all property related. Okay, hobbies and interests, again, it's helping you think where your hobbies and interests come into play. So you're thinking, Ash, what do you care for? Play cricket? I don't care if you play cricket. I care about the people that you network with. Got it? Yeah, now you got it. If you go to a crochet club, I don't care. You're going to knit me a nice little jumper for Christmas. I care that the people you sit with, that you talk about what you do and how you're doing. You know, the more people you talk about, it's called word of mouth. It spreads, and they remember you. And if you've got a business card, still a business card, and you know, well, where's his number? Yeah, I remember that. I want to stay in Cambridge, Oxford, London, wherever. You know, Cornwall, Devon, you know, wherever it might be, York, Bath, Scotland, wherever you want to go. So hobbies and interests is all about your networking and the people. Now, you don't know that from me saying that, but that's what we'll go through, and that's what I need you to be thinking about. So additional information, you know, what is it that I don't know about you, which, you know, tell me something that I don't know and people don't know. And, you know, try and keep it relevant. It could be that, you know, I don't know, you might have climbed Mount Kilimanjaro and did it for charity and raised £10,000 or something. To me, that says a lot about you as a person, because you're doing stuff for others as well, giving up your time for other people. So it helps people understand who you are as a person. So here, section 3, your products and services. What are you selling? What are you promoting? Okay, so we're selling a product in that the property is the product. The service is what you offer within that property. In other words, the linen and that type of thing. We're offering a bit of both, if you like. So it's a service in service accommodation with linen and cleaning and that type of stuff. And the product is the finished product, the actual property itself. And that could be we are providing luxury, we're providing a business, or we're providing a contractor, you know, low end or high end or whatever it might be. That's what you have to think about. And you don't want to be looking at Knightsbridge in London and offering, you know, low end stuff, you know, nice high end stuff where, you know, possibly it could be that wealthy people are going to stay and they have certain expectations. Good. So who are your customers? Again, individuals, business, tourist people, holiday makers, contractors, high-end contractors, blue-collar contractors, white-collar contractors, specific countries coming in, maybe from China. China is just massive visitors now, especially if you're looking at the places where you have a lot of historical properties and houses and castles and that type of thing. So, you know, where are your customers based? Got all that there, that type of thing. What prompts your customers to buy your service and products? It's going to be the level. It's going to be the price. You price certain people out. You'll price certain people out up here as well and down here. So the pricing is essential to keep that type of demographic coming in that you're looking for. What factors help your customers choose which business you know to buy from? Why should they buy from you? If you've got 90 other apartments there, why would they focus on you? So you've already worked out the demographic that you want to go for. Then you provide what you tell them you're going to provide. You know, what does it say on the box? Yes, it's going to be nice premium linen. It's going to be the striped linen. It's going to be nice fluffy pillows. You know, it's going to be a nice quality big TV. You're going to provide Sky channels and that type of thing for that type of level. You're going to provide a nice coffee machine, you know, with the capsules or whatever it might be. And you're going to provide a higher end, you know, type of bed. You know, whereas the contractors type stuff, it could be semi-HMO look. You know, not quite so high-end furniture, lower end, lower cost, which means that, you know, that's the type of people that you're going to attract, especially when you start looking for the direct sort of guests, you know, direct bookings as well. So, and there's different places, and you'll learn that as we go along about where you find the direct bookings and that type of stuff. Good. So you're going to need to know that, because you're going to write to companies, and you're going to, all of this will just solidify into one big plan. Right now, like I said, you're thinking I'm all over the place, but it will all come together. And one day you'll say to me, Ash, I've got it, I'm here. And it could be 6 weeks, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, when you say, you know what, I understand this whole entire business plan thing now. I understand my business. Because at the end of the 12 months, you're going to stand up in front of me, you're going to stand up in front of a load of students at one of my classes, and you're going to tell them what you do. And you're going to be so articulate. You're going to do it like, you're going to do it standing on your back legs or back feet or whatever you want to call it. Good. On your head. Have you sold these to customers already? So, you know, what's your experience? If it's a no now, you just give a little bit of detail on it. If it's a yes, as in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, yes, this. We provide a product for high end. We provide a product for contracts and so on. Good. You see how already you're starting to understand. Right. This is how it's going to evolve. This is how it's going to change. Give all the answers. Yeah, customers wanted to buy your product. Okay, so have you got customers there already? Yes, they're in their bloody droves, and you know that from your research. So now you just have to go out and find out, where that comes from and how to get it. Good. And there you should do all that via the pricing sheet. Now, what I'll do is we'll just have a quick look on that. So this is in the Dropbox under Service Calculator. Excuse me. So when you're looking at research, you're going to be looking on booking.com, you're going to be looking on Airbnb, and you're going to put, Premier Inn, Hampton here, Bull Hotel, Marriott, Grand, Queensgate, etc., blah, blah, blah. And then you'll add in your service apartments as well, and you'll find out here, obviously you can see weekday and weekend right here. Here's a little tip for you. If the weekday is higher than the weekend, it's a business area. That's going to help you understand what type of demographic you're going to sell to. So it may be that you do this bit first before you fill in those other bits on the business plan. If your weekend is higher than your weekday, chances are it's an area that's visited by local tourists or international tourists, because there are attractions there, like, historic houses or theatre or stadiums or EXL or things like that, O2 Centre or, the NEC building, if it's still called that in Birmingham. And you'll go through those, and you'll get, how much it is for one person or two people, and then you'll get it for three people. And you see in most cases they double once you go from 2 to 3 people, because ordinarily hotels will only give a room that fits 2 people. So that's where obviously the value, the added value, comes in for us. Okay, so once you've done that, you'll have an average price, and let's say the average price here, those ones there equal about £90 per night. Now you can see there's some there, Queensgate, so really they're the ones that we would compete with, and that comes in about £109 a night, those 3 averaged out. Now if you have 10 properties, 20 properties, and there'll be more than that on there. If you're 20 properties, 30 properties, and you've found out and you think, you know what, most of them around about the £200 a night, and there's a couple here that spike out to £400 or £500 a night, see what they're offering. It's probably going to be really high end, or they're just amateurs and they're outpricing themselves. Leave that out of the equation for the averages, okay? And then we want to start looking at adding that price into here. So that will be your price per night. We will keep the price the same for 2 people, much like the hotels, but then we'll add an extra fee per night for the 3rd person, 4th person, 5th person, 6th person. And then you'll see here, this is our worst case scenario that we went through. That should be a 50% occupancy. And let's say that's 75 and that's 85. Down here, this number needs to be as close to 0 as possible, or over in this case, as you can see, which is 360. And that's your averages there in the middle column, based on a minimum of 2 nights, which is that number there. And you can change that number to 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights, whatever you wish. Sorry, let's just go back and make sure we didn't change that. Good. And then you have your best case scenario. This is based on 5 people staying 85% of the time. You can see there, almost 4,860. So if you can get a nice long-term booking for that, that would be fantastic. And down the bottom here, if you're looking at HMOs, that's another calculator for you based on HMOs, renting by the room. But we're concentrating on service accommodation here. So you should be able to understand those numbers quite simplistically now. Put your own logo in whatever you want. We do the same on booking.com, and we do the same on Airbnb. Please note that booking.com will always be a little bit more than Airbnb, because Airbnb, they tend to add the cleaning fee, etc. on top of that, and it might start out at £90 and actually ends up getting to £400 a night, whereas booking.com will probably start off about £200 a night but still get off to the £400 a night. So please don't be alarmed when you see that Airbnb is actually much higher. So that's a very good sheet to work out. If this is here, if this goes to, if you're in London, let's say, and that goes to -360, but this figure goes to, let's say, 1360, we want a minimum of 1,000. So that's okay with that offset. But when you find somebody that goes negative here, run it past me first, and I'll assess what you've done. So fantastic. Let's get back to the business plan. So that should be attached in here too when you're looking at your third-party research. So that one question there is going to take you quite a while. This is why this probably take you about 3 to 4 days. Now, you might say to me, Ash, I don't have an area. Well, you need to pick an area or 2 or 3 that you're going to be looking at, and then we'll pick the best. Market research, your due diligence, key findings from desktop, i.e. your PC sitting here on your laptop, from what you've done via Airbnb, booking.com. You might even have a little look at Expedia and TripAdvisor, but I suggest that just start with Booking and Airbnb. Key findings from your research. It could be that, wow, you know what? I didn't expect so many people to be staying here. And you can check calendars on Airbnb to see how much they're booked for the next 6, 12 months. So you want to be checking that as well. If they're not booked out, we might not have an area here that's going to work for us. Key findings, test trading. So when you test trading, use Airbnb as our test platform, because it's the only OTA, online travel agent service, that we can actually test. And you must turn off instant booking. Make sure you've only got on inquiries. Basically, set it up, get photos from Google, set it up as if you're going to set up a property right there in that street. And then if it works, then what you can do is just basically change the photos and turn that one live. Obviously, you've got to get a property and then turn that live based on that same thing. So it means less work when you're coming up next. Section 6. So marketing strategy. What are you going to do? All the OTAs we need to get straight onto using Toolkit. So you'll need to put them in. You need to put in Booking.com, Airbnb, TripAdvisor, Expedia, all of those cover Trivago, Hotels.com, and all those type of things as well. So get onto those. What's the cost? It is going to be about 15% of your actual gross booking. And then later on, as we go along, we'll show you how to offset that 15% as well. So you don't actually, technically you don't actually pay it. Good. There will also be direct marketing, that type of thing. And we'll go through that as we go along. Like you might get onto Experian, get lists of businesses in the area. You might find a list of contractors that might be coming to a show. It might be that if you're around Excel or NEC in Birmingham or anywhere like that, it's not essentially that you're looking for the person who's coming to watch the show. It could be the people there that are working to put the show together and then pull it down and that type of thing. So it's a longer term. And you can get direct bookings there. Direct bookings are simply going to save you on commission. Use the pricing sheet for this, competitor analysis. So you just bang, put that sheet straight in there too. Location, price, strengths, what are they good at? What are they weak at? What's the property called? It could be ABC or K instead of, beautiful house by the river. What are their weaknesses? Work it out and see what you think. And look at that as an experience from an actual end user. So strengths analysis, what are your strengths? Hey, I'm good at this. This is where the stuff about your work experience comes into place, or even life experience or whatever it might be. Yes, I've traveled the world with my parents. I've stayed in places. I've noticed that this didn't work and this didn't work. I love this. I love that, blah, blah, blah. Your weaknesses, it could be, okay, I'm lacking experience, but my strength is that, I'm full of I'm just ready to go, and I'm just full of hunger to make this work. And it's not necessarily a weakness, it's a strong word, but you have to use weakness because it's this whole SWOT thing. And the opportunities, what is the opportunities for you? Yes, service accommodation is a massive growing market. According to research, do a little citation. We're going to research. I suggest you look at visitbritain.org and look at all the inbound data that they've got, and they've got tons and tons and tons of it. You know, sell it to me, because you're going to have to sell it to investors. Threats, other operators, competition. Is it a threat? Yeah, kind of. I don't know. Depends on what they do. You know, if you stay ahead of them, they're not a threat. You are the threat. Changing legislation, that's probably an opportunity as well, if I could be quite frank. Gets rid of the amateurs. USPs, what are your USPs? Again, you might drag that from the education experience or whatever it is that you might be thinking that you're going to bring to this marketplace. Operations, production, it could be just like, you know, kickoff. What are you going to do? Delivery to guest tenants. You know, are you going to automate this? Are you going to do face-to-face, you know, check-ins and that type of stuff? Payment methods and terms, you know, are you going to use WorldPay? Are you going to use Stripe? You're going to use virtual terminal, no cash. So just put that in there so that when you are selling this to other people, you have to remind yourself, yes, I'm using Stripe. It takes 10 minutes to set up. It's very easy to use, Stripe is. Suppliers, which are suppliers of your, not just your linen and cleaners and that type of stuff, but it is linen provider and cleaners, but it's also the agents and the landlords bringing you the properties. Okay, so make sure you've got all of that in there too. Premises, where are they? What are they like? How many have you got? Equipment, what do you need? You need beds, you know, do you need a coffee machine, knives, forks, all that type of stuff. Transport, how are you going to get there? How are you going to get out? Legal requirements, have you got also insurance as well? Legal requirements could be, I don't know, have a solicitor write up your terms and conditions. You don't need to, because we provide you with the terms and conditions, but there may be other things that you do that you need, you know, you need it signed up by a solicitor or something like that. And that may, you know, may also be a solicitor's involved with setting up your company, or although I'd say most of that is your accountant. But there may be that, you know, you got a wife, you got a husband, or there's other people that you're making shareholders of the business. You know, you may need not just an accountant for that. Insurance requirements, you know, public indemnity, professional liability, all those type of things. Management and staff, are you gonna have people manage the property? Are you gonna do it? Are they gonna be staff? And any additional information that you think is needed. Don't always put an additional information if you don't need it, just put NA. The section 9, your forecast for your finance. So this is basically what you're going to do. How many you're going to get. So month, you know, January, bang, my first deal. My first deal is going to be in, you know, York, and it's going to turn me in £1,000 from my research per month. You know, the costs are this, all again, basically pan in your research sheet there. Sales forecast, product, service. So yes. Property 1, property 2, whatever it might be. Could be property 3 is, hey, we're delving into a 7-room block that's going to be all for contractors. It could be that service that you're providing. The product is the property. The service is the service that you're providing, as in the level. Assumptions, seasonal trends, you know, do you need more direct bookings for January when it's a bit quiet? What are you going to do for summer? You're gonna, you know, is there any price spikes or anything like that? Is there particular events that are happening where you can, you know, bring in more income for the same work? And then personal survival budget. This is up to you if you want to put it in. You don't have to send this to me. That's up to you to keep. But you just need to know, you know, what are the costs of your own costs, and this is helping you, your total costs, know what your actual financial freedom number is. So whatever that total number is, your total survival income, that is your financial freedom number. Whether that's $1,500 a month, $3,000 a month, or $10,000 a month, that is your financial freedom number. So you know what you've got to go for. You don't have to share all of this stuff here with me. Just share with me your financial freedom number, and it will be an exact number, £1,537.57. Then we know what we're working on. We set goals around that. Good. And then cash flow. How much are you going to bring in? What are your goals? Put it all in there. Month 1, month 2. You don't have to use this spreadsheet. If there's a better cash flow spreadsheet that you prefer, use that one. Okay. And this will be the breakdown of your properties. So what have you paid in rent this month? What have you paid in council tax? Blah, 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 blah. Again, you can take a lot of that off that sheet, but you need to have a running total here. And then cost table. That will probably be pretty much all involved in here in your sheet anyway. So you don't necessarily need a separate cost table there. So that's the business plan in a nutshell. Now, hopefully, it's not as hard as what you thought it was. So get cracking. Remember, the business plan you have, the service calculator master December 16, it has been updated then since December, just not the name. You need to use that for your research. Remember, put in your service apartments, put in everything in there that you know about your area, the pricing. You'll get to your pricing, and then in your area, your rent, you're going to look on Rightmove. You're going to say, right, okay, there's 2-bed, 2-bathroom available. The average really in the right area that I need is going to be about 1,800, 1,500, 1,200 a month, or whatever it might be. It could be a 3-bed property, don't forget. You want a minimum 2 bathrooms. I realize down south it may be a little bit harder where there's maybe only 1 bedroom, but more of the newer buildings that they've built, the purpose-built properties do have the 2 bathrooms, albeit one of them is an ensuite, so that's not an issue. So hopefully, well, I know that that's going to help you a lot and make you, I just hope it makes you feel a little bit less like, oh, you know, this is not as hard. This is good. You know, you're not being let off. You're just being helped here to understand that the entire, all these little bits will all come together to build your plan. And I can tell you that you follow this, you're going to be successful. Let's get back to where we were, which is here. Turn off the screen sharing. Good. Any questions you've got, send me an email, ashbanfield@gmail.com, or the best thing is just get onto WhatsApp and just, you know, my number is 07535 21559 if you're not already on a group. I'm sure you are. And just ping everything through there. That's the best way. Because sometimes, you know, if I get emails, I won't check emails. I'll only check emails every couple of hours through the day, whereas WhatsApp, I'm checking every sort of, you know, 15 minutes to half an hour, and I can answer them as soon as I stop, you know. So that's the best way for me. So, you know, I wish you all the best. This is going to be an awesome journey. It's going to be an awesome time. And like I say, in 12 months' time, you're going to be in front of people, telling you your story, telling you exactly what you did from business plan day one to now having half a dozen properties or more. You're financially free based on the original figure that you gave me, which is in there in black and white. You're actually now building up. You have disposable income. You're now looking at buying properties. That's the final outcome that we need from you. Happy days. Have fun. See you on the next.